In this video, I'll show you how to set up using bolsters, blankets, straps, and blocks so that you can get your body in the perfect position for supta baddha konasana and supta virasana. These are poses that are really wonderful way to get any of your yoga sessions started to totally relax the body and the mind. Hello beautiful people, namaste, my name's Julia and I have a YouTube channel called Zephyr Rose 11 and a Facebook page of the same name. So I'm going to show you how to set up the bolsters for when you're doing supta baddha konasana and supta virasana as well. So we can choose different ways to set things up, and it's all going to depend on what effect you want, like how much you want to open your chest or how much your body is able to open. So if I show you what I call the super deluxe version, I get 2 bolsters. Now if you don't have 2 bolsters, then instead of using a second bolster, get a blanket and then fold that into 3 and put that on top, and that can be instead of a bolster. And you can see I've got a little bit of a step back here because we're going to be having our bottom here and our backs coming over. Now I do have 2 bolsters, so I'm going to show you the version with 2 bolsters. So we put the second bolster on top with that little step back, so about the width of a hand, I suppose. Alright, now this blanket I'm going to fold in half to place at the back for my head. Alright, so here we sit with our feet together and knees apart, so that's baddha konasana, and we straighten ourselves up, and I'm just a fist distance away from the back of the bolster, and then I bring my hands to my sides, and with control I lift my body over, and then I can bring the blanket underneath my head and just curl it underneath the neck like that. Now the arms are out at 45 degrees from the body. Now if your head feels a little bit tipped back, then you can just fold the blanket a little bit more. That feels better, until you feel quite comfortable. Now if you find that when you're doing that your knees are really uncomfortable, then get a couple of blocks, like this size, and place them under your knees. Yeah, just under your thighs, just as a support. Put one on each side. Now, so that's the deluxe version, and then another one. So depending on what your spine is like, so you may like to just have the one bolster, but I always have the blanket under the head. Now, so here again, sitting up nice and straight, and then my buttocks are about a fist distance away from the end of the bolster, and I bring myself over the bolster, and then I bring the blanket underneath and support under the head. It just depends on how you feel and what your back is doing today. So this one is a little more, has less curve, but at the same time doesn't have as much support. And remember, again, you can use those blocks under your knees if your legs are uncomfortable. Okay, good. And then the last one is supta baddha konasana. So this one, I quite like to have a little block to sit on just in front. So with this one, I have my knees together and the block is between my ankles. So it all depends on your body. And the calves come out, so you can just roll the calves out and knees together. Now you can use a strap. This one is shoulder width length, and you can put that around your knees. And then bringing your tailbone towards your knees, and then bringing yourself down, and again popping that blanket under the head with a little support under the neck. Now for some people this is a little harder to get into, so you can have as much support as you like. You can have, this is one bolster, you can have 2 bolsters, 3 bolsters. And then to give yourself a little more challenge, so you can just have your arms at 45. There's a magpie having a little song over there. Or you can hold your elbows and bring your arms over your head, lengthen your neck and resting here. So these postures, whichever one you choose, it's recommended to stay for at least 5 minutes so that your body can take the shape of whatever it is that it is lying upon. And you always remember halfway to change the cross of the arms. And I love doing yoga in nature, so you can listen to the birds. Alrighty, so when you come out, bring your forearms down, make sure you come up chest first, head last, and sit here for a little while just to bring the blood back to homeostasis. It's important not to just suddenly flop forward to go from one extent to the other, but instead to go from, you know, a back bend to sitting up straight and then coming to your forward bend. Okay, namaste, see you in class.